The name is opposite name. Just that nigga smoking blunts, always spitting that game. Used to call me 420, but that shit all the same. I'm all in, man, like
Hey, this is Chris Hopkins. Welcome you back for episode 3 of Hop Topics. This episode, I am joined by the lovely Bridgette Martin. You can see her performing her special brand of stand-up in Chattanooga and all over the Southeast. Bridgette, welcome to Hop Topics. How you doing today?
I am fabulous.
It's really great to have you in here. Full disclosure, man, Bridgette's been a real big help to me. She's gotten me booked and got me a lot of opportunities to get on stage and kind of get on this little run I've been on lately. So really wanted to thank you for that. But you've been on a run yourself. You've been back and forth to Alabama, Carolina, doing a bunch of traveling, you and Art. So go ahead and fill us in on your travels.
Yeah, I actually just got back from a week in Alabama, which I've never been to a lot of the different parts of Alabama that I was in this past week. I've done Huntsville and Florence, but I went to Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. So that was really fun and very racist. And then we had a little pop off into Atlanta and then back into Alabama. So.
Okay, me being a transplanted Yankee, I'm just getting comfortable in Tennessee. I'm still scared as shit to go to Alabama as a black man. So I don't know. I mean, I've had mixed kind of results. Some people's like, oh yeah, it's completely fine. It's better than Ohio, which Ohio is kind of a piece of shit. But then I've heard other people to say when you get within 5 miles of the Alabama border, you start hearing banjos. So
see, I've done a lot of stuff in Huntsville, and northern Alabama is wonderful.
Okay.
Like, I've never experienced anything weird there. I was told that Cullen, Alabama, which is, I believe, just south of Huntsville, is like a place that you don't stop for gas. Especially you.
Yeah.
Like,
you too, boy. Don't you stop here for nothing. You keep driving. Don't even drive through. Drive around.
Yeah, like I heard like KKK is like active there, and I don't know this for sure. This is just
no, I'm
what
writing
I've
this
heard.
down. I know it's to go around Cullen. That with a C or a K?
Yeah.
Or 3 Ks.
But it was certainly, it was very south. It was very south.
Okay. I mean, the South living down South has been a lot better than I really imagined and thought it was. I love being in Chattanooga. I say you would have to pay me a whole lot to move back north. So I like the South. I just try to be aware. There's some shitty places up north I don't want to be either. So I just try to avoid shitty places wherever they might be on the map.
Yeah, I think there's shitty places everywhere. It's not just the South. There's shitty places no matter where you go.
Speaking of shitty places, you got to go to Columbus not too long ago, didn't you?
I did, and that was not a shitty place. That was awesome.
You didn't go to the west side.
Oh, man. I don't know where I was, but it was awesome. It was... like, for the longest time, I've been going out on the road now, and I drive to these places, and a lot of times I'd have to come right back, and so I didn't really get time to spend where I was, or hang out after the shows. And so in Columbus, Art and I, Art's Sturdivant, my travel partner, we were both staying overnight. We didn't have anything to do the next morning, so we just hung out. We got to hang out with the comics, and it was awesome. And
now, the area of town you were at, a High Street campus, now that is a fun place. Especially for a comic, you can have a lot of fun for just a little bit of money. So there are hospitable places in Columbus where you don't have to, hop over the hypodermic needles and dodge the junkies.
Yeah, I did not see any hypodermic needles or any drug use You
didn't go to the west side.
No. No, I like to stay safe. I was wearing heels and a dress, so I needed to play it safe.
That's cool. So we got to play, was it Cafe Kerouac?
Yes, which was a really cool little coffee shop, but they also served beers, and they had cookies and Rice Krispie treats and books. They had so many really cool books, and so there was a coffee shop, and then on the other there was a separate room behind it, which is where the comedy was, and it was just such a neat little setup. It was right near the campus, and it was fun.
I missed that stretch of High Street. That's actually
what it was,
Clintonville.
High Street,
Yeah, it's
yes.
High Street, and then a little bit north of campus is Clintonville, so it's kind of got a little hipster vibe. And it's for all the people who graduated from Ohio State who doesn't know what the fuck they're going to do with their lives, but, still kind of live like college kids. But there's a lot of culture, a ton of shows booked. The first shows that I ever got to perform in, mostly hip-hop, were on that stretch of High Street at Scully's and then a place called the High Five, which is no longer there. So if one of the few places and parts of Columbus I missed was right on that strip. So there's a lot of fun to be had there. So you also said that aside from your Alabama trip, you got to dip into Atlanta?
Yes.
Where'd you get to go to Atlanta?
We did, Art and I were traveling in Alabama together, so we went to Atlanta for a reproductive rights fundraiser that we performed in at the Highland Inn, which is a wonderful venue.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful place. And then afterwards, we popped in for a late night mic at this bar called Church. And it was very blasphemous, and I felt very at home.
So tell us a little bit more about both the Reproductive Bits gig and then the later spot you got to perform at Church.
So the Reproductive Bits fundraiser was actually put on by Sam Gordon, who's very active in the Atlanta comedy scene. She does a lot of stuff out there, and I had actually approached her along with a local comic, Morgan Gray, about doing a reproductive rights fundraiser, and she's like, I'm actually already doing that. And we're like, oh, great. And she's been churning them out. And she's got like raffles, she's got donations from local businesses. I mean, she's raised over $1,000 so far for the charity that she's working for. Really well put together, and got to see 3 or 4 other Atlanta comics perform, which I always love watching people perform that I've not seen before. So,
me too. That was kind of why I asked, because there's been a huge movement of large scale like movie studios and entertainment entities trying to say that they're going to exit the state of Georgia because of the abortion laws, but there's so many active people who are allies of people, who want to have, women's choice, basically anybody's choice to be, who they want to be in Atlanta. And so I kind of feel like these people should be supported, and instead of, supporting these companies running out of the state, we should support the people trying to make change within the state. So,
yes.
Anything positive going on in Atlanta, because there's so much going on, I try to highlight and let people know that, it's really great to be able to have so much entertainment going on in Atlanta. You don't have to break yourself to move to LA. The cost of living is cheaper. People are more personable. It's not dealing with, like the California pretentiousness. So I think that,
and the world of Coca-Cola is there.
All the best food is in the South.
Atlanta, man. I love Atlanta. I would live in Atlanta in a heartbeat. I love the
living
MARTA,
down there. I love living down there.
5 Points.
I just needed to be here for family, and then I ain't got that Atlanta money. Somebody cut me a check with enough zeros. I'm gonna get an apartment right there in Midtown, like right across from the Laughing Skull.
So that would be amazing.
That's my dream. But somebody pays me Atlanta money, I'll be down there with Lil Jon every night. But right now I got
to Chattanooga. Is that where he is?
Actually, I think Lil Jon's probably in Europe DJing.
Oh,
so I will find some other rapper that I don't exactly some other rapper that I can't understand what the fuck they're saying other than with
okay.
Dread. Yeah. So whoever is in Atlanta, the Migos, Gucci Mane, somebody
Isn't
cut me a check.
Luda in Atlanta?
Yeah, Luda.
I would throw my panties at Luda. He is a beautiful black man.
Oh, man. Luda.
I would have to put on panties so that I'd have something to throw at him, but I would do that for him.
Oh, my gosh. You got the black dude blushing in the booth. You can't even see it. But man, I'm a Luda fan, so I mean, I guess I can see. I used to rap and do music, and see, that's where all the pussy is. You don't even have to be attractive to get people to like you. If
He's
you're
a rapper?
Ludacris?
I only know him from his acting on Law & Order SVU.
Ludacris is on Law & Order SVU?
Yes, he played Detective Tutuola, which is Ice-T. He's his nephew, and he is a rabble-rouser.
What?
Yeah. Don't know if you believe this, but he gets arrested.
On Law & Order.
And he's like crazy.
See, that's another thing that shows how fucking old I am. The Ice-T has been a TV cop, and that's what everybody remembers him. And I was like, oh, Ice-T, the cop from TV. And it's
he's a great TV cop, though.
Yeah, but he was like a better, like, pimp and gangster. That's like the first rapper that I bought, like, tapes of. It's like, I wanted to be Ice-T before I wanted to be Ice Cube. The perm didn't work, but
a lot of people like want pimp and gangster for life, but that's a hard life, dude. You know? And now he's making that Atlanta money.
Yeah, you gotta have a backup plan. You can't be pimping forever. Although Magic Don Juan is pulling off, but you don't want to be 75 in a bright green suit with a pimp cup.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I guess maybe. See, so that's the debate. Is pimping a permanent lifestyle choice, or is it just temporary?
Oh, I could tell you what it is. It ain't easy.
From a pimp. She wasn't a pimp. I was like, well, I can tell you what it is. Let me tell you this here about pimping. I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I can tell you about pimping. And I know that there's a special slap involved. That's about it.
Yeah.
And a little roughing up of the ladies. Or dudes. I guess I could pimp out dudes.
I guess, hey, whatever people are buying these days, you can pimp it on out.
People want to watch flies fuck, I go find the flies.
Hey, I don't know about insect pimping. I don't know if I can condone that on Hop. No, whatever you into. If we'll find if the fly.
Was that about to be a hop take?
If you can get a fly,
topic,
if you
can't even say it.
A hop topic. If you can get consent from the fly, if you like it to fly to sign a form or something,
You're one of those.
then you
Okay.
Well, you can't take advantage of a fly.
Hashtag me too from the fly community.
Exactly.
Okay, I get you.
Then you'll have
You're
people
covering
that are
all your
upset.
bases.
Hey, I do not want to be protested by flies. We'll have a fly picket line outside. Just
Yeah, because they are annoying.
yeah, I'm trying to actually picnic, and they're gonna be picketing my picnic, fucking up my food.
Yeah, and they'll get all the ants involved. Oh, jeez.
As long as they don't invite the mosquitoes.
They're already out there. They're
Tennessee
protesting you no
mosquitoes-
matter what.
Tennessee mosquitoes are aggressive, man. I never understood until I got down here.
I thought Florida was bad. That's where I'm from, and it's bad here.
I'm afraid of Florida. I haven't gotten to Florida. I'm progressing south. Like I dipped my toe in the southern waters with Tennessee, and I got like
Well,
hip
Florida's
deep.
not really the South.
Northern Florida is the south,
Yes,
and
northern Florida, but like,
and then South Florida is like a whole nother country.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Miami
Party
Vice
time.
down
Excellent.
there. And see, if I go down that far, I'm not coming back.
You will.
Yeah, when my money runs out. Oh man, this has been Chris Hopkins, episode 3 of Hop Topics. I'm here with the lovely Bridgette Martin. I'm gonna go ahead and to throw it on the break. Before I go to break, I want to thank my friends as always from Scratch House and Freedom Automotives in Columbus, Ohio. If you need your car cleaned out, spiffed up, polished up, want to get them dents out of it, want to get the headlights so they don't look like they got cataracts, give Nate a call. He's over there on Center Point Drive. And we'll be back for round 2.
The name is opposite name. Just that nigga smoking blunts, always spitting that game. Used to call me 420, but that shit all the same. I'm all in, man, like Texas Hold'em. I see 5-0 patrol.
Okay, we're back with a second segment of Hop Topic. I had to come rushing back because Bridgette broke out the damn gummy bears. And I like gummy bears, so I wanted to eat
They're
a gummy
not
bear.
bears. They're dinosaurs.
Gummy dinosaurs. So
Yeah.
these
I
are-
looked at the bears, but the dinosaurs look better.
The gummy dinosaurs is good, as you can tell as I chew into the microphone. This makes for good radio. It really does. We're eating gummy bears on the radio. Or the internet, actually, because people don't use radios anymore.
I use a radio.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I listen to radio, not all the time, but sometimes, like when I'm trying to just see what's out music-wise and also to kind of hear what's going on in town. But also because my phone's been broken, so I can't listen to my music on my media player.
My phone has been like dropped more than the NBA basketball, and I'm too cheap to get another one because I'm paying for podcasts, and I'm just going to break that phone too.
So you need to get a sponsor with a cell phone fixing company.
I do, or a cheap cell phone company. So we are out here searching for sponsors. Now, getting back on topic, you let us know about the reproductive rights show you were part of in Atlanta. And you have a similar show coming up here in Chattanooga. Get us some information on that.
So Morgan Gray and I, we have put together a series of shows in Chattanooga, Nashville, Knoxville, and we added Huntsville and New Orleans just onto the bill. But it's called Abort Mission.
Okay.
And that's going to be benefiting various charities. The ones in Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Nashville are going to be for the Access Reproductive Center of the Southeast. And then in Alabama, it's the Alabama Women's Center. And I don't think they've picked out a charity yet in New Orleans. But it's basically, just charities that help do, for the cause.
Yeah, I mean, the cause being is a lot of these southern states and northern states, I'm looking at you, Ohio, have just put these ridiculous laws on the books to almost outlaw abortion and a woman's choice to decide if, she wants to bring a baby or she's ready for it. And a lot of this money is going to help to keep the few remaining centers that are open in the South. These women have to drive hundreds of miles to get to, and make it hundreds instead of thousands, and just to make the process a little bit easier. So, as a man, I can't.
And it's not even just about abortion. It's really, I mean, that's like one part of it.
Okay.
It's about a lot of things. It's about this is. As a woman, it's my body. Mm-hmm. As a man, I mean, you have reproductive rights too, and it's not really just about abortion, but that's part of it. And the money is also like the centers that we're helping are also helping with legislation to help prevent these bills from affecting everybody, because it's not just a woman's issue.
I agree too, and thanks for the information. I'm glad you came on, because it would look stupid me trying to talk about it, kind of being on the outside looking in. But
I mean, that's the hot topic. That's what everybody, that's the pushy issue about it. But it goes much deeper than that.
And it's funny because, I mean, Roe versus Wade was decided in 1973. So it's not just a hot topic. It's always been bubbling under the surface. It's always kind of been there. And there's so much up in the air politically. And there's change afoot in so many different ways, both good and bad. So I want to try to be on the right side of things and support things that I know are going to help the most people and give people the best quality of life.
Yeah. And even if you are pro-life, that's fine, but you can be pro-life and be pro-choice at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to say, it's okay to have an abortion. You can feel like that's not okay. But as far as laws go,
yeah,
it's
like I wouldn't have one personally, but it's not about me, basically.
Really, yeah, it isn't.
One of the few things on the planet that is not about me. It's a very small list. So, now one of your primary duties is in tasks in comedy is running the open mic at the Comedy Catch, and you get to see a variety of animals and flavors.
Oh,
so tell me about
animals,
how.
Yes.
How you stumbled upon that fun task and all of the fun you've gotten to deal with, meeting all the comics and getting everybody booked and kind of being like a kindergarten teacher.
It is kind of like being a kindergarten teacher sometimes, like having to explain to people like how open mic works, why it works the way it does, and why it's important to do open mic if it's, if you want to invest in yourself and invest in your comedy career. And, especially doing it at a club, because representation from the club is watching. So that leads to more opportunities, which is how I got involved. I was just going to the open mics when Luke Martyr was hosting. Mm-hmm. He was the host of the open mics, and then he turned it over to me because it was time for him to give it up. And so I've been doing it for a little over a year now, and it's really grown a lot. It used to be once a month. Now it's twice a month, and it's a booked mic, so you have to sign up in advance, and it's booked all the way out through August. And we get comics coming from all over: Nashville, Knoxville, Asheville, Atlanta, Huntsville, Florence. I mean, they're coming from all over.
I think that moving it to a booked mic, it kind of changes. It's not a true open mic, but it makes it a much better experience for the crowd and the comics. Sometimes you get to those open mics and you might get like 30 or 40 people signed up. Mm-hmm. The host and the venue really doesn't have an idea who's going up, so you might have like 4 or 5 acts going up that, to put it mildly, are less strong. So if you have 4 or 5 bad acts in a row, you might wind up losing your crowd or just putting a negative light.
And I don't want to say it's not a true open mic, because it is, because anybody can get up. We don't turn anybody away.
Okay.
And as far as being a booked open mic, it's just about the amount of slots that are available. Because, I mean, that open mic started to get more and more people signing up, which means the show went longer and longer. And realistically, I mean, you can't get an audience to sit there and pay attention for more than a couple hours. That's a long time, especially when it's not the same person standing up there for, 10, 20 minutes at a time. They're, 16 people doing 5-minute sets. That's a lot of people to watch. And as far as, people that aren't as strong. That's where, when you set up your lineup, you know who your strong people are, and you just kind of sandwiches other people in between to kind of, so it's just like an up and down of energy and talent.
Yeah, speaking of strong and talent, you've been able to give a lot of people opportunity to get on stage and really hone themselves and get better. Who are some of the people that you can think of that you've seen improve and you can recommend people go and see your up-and-coming comics that have come out the open mic?
If we were going just based on the Comedy Catch open mic, I'd say like Ethan McFall. He runs the Alcoholics Not Anonymous open mic every Thursday in Chattanooga, and I've been watching him since he started, and I mean he's just come leaps and bounds. He like just a little over a year in, and he's amazing. Matt Harris also really strong.
I like Matt's sets. He got so much energy.
He is probably one of the most high energy comics I've seen in a while. That isn't like pro. Oh my man, we get people that come from all over. We've had from Huntsville or from Birmingham, we've had Jose Cooks.
Yeah, he's good.
He's really good, and he comes out pretty often. But there's so many. Yeah. There's so many people that come, and you really get to see good people. And then there's people coming all the time that I've never seen before. So I'm getting exposed to new people all the time when I go.
It's always cool to see somebody you've never seen before get up and surprise you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that Comedy Catch open mic is a very important show here in Chattanooga comedy. Like you said, it gets everybody a little bit of time up there on the big stage, and you start to kind of get used to it and get a little bit of exposure. But that's not the only show you're involved with. No. You're also involved with the Improv versus Stand-Up show at Improv Chattanooga every third Saturday?
Third Saturday of every month, and it's a 10 o'clock show. It is probably one of my favorite shows that I ever get to do because it's different every single time. We have the stand-ups, they do their set 5 to 7 minutes, and then the improv troupe goes up and does skits based on what they just saw. Okay. So it's basically like watching your stand-up be interpreted by other people.
Which is really cool.
It's really fun. I think that's like... It's so flattering to see what people pull, like what they remember, what sticks out to them, what inspires them, because you're their muse. Yeah. For 5 to 7 minutes, you're their muse that they're getting their material from, and then they just go up there and, is it great every time? No. But there are more times than not where it's really
It's one of those
great.
Things where it depends on your definition of what you're looking at is great, because improv, you've got to come up with it right there. And the fact that they are there interpreting no matter what the hell is thrown at them from whatever. The fact that they actually do it and come up with something is great.
Yeah, because they're watching you for your whole 5 to 7 minutes, and then they immediately go up on stage. They don't have time to sit there and like confer with each other to be like, okay, then you're going to come up and say this. Yeah. It's basically like one person steps up and says something relevant to what they just saw, and then everybody else has to play with it.
I think the bravery of getting up there and just going with what pops in your head, and then having someone else who trusts you enough and is crazy enough to come off of it, I think that's where the greatness comes up, because they're brave enough to get up there. It's like, I'm going to be silly as hell, and this is what I came up.
And just see what happens.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying. Like, improv terrifies me. But they're also, like, so closely knit. They're such good friends with each other, and they're a great team, and they like each other. And I'm kind of jealous of that camaraderie that they have.
It's like the circus family that does, like, the flying trapeze and walks on the tightrope together.
Yeah, and they've got each other's backs, and they're in it to win it. And if they lose, they all lose, and they take it gracefully.
See, teamwork is a beautiful thing.
It is. It's beautiful to watch.
So we've got improv versus stand-up, and then you also have your show on every random Tuesday you can get at the Moxie Hotel.
Yeah, it's been working out to be the third Tuesday of every month, but it's really just they tell me a Tuesday.
It's better than the sixth Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, that which would be never. Yes. But it's at the Moxie in downtown Chattanooga, which is a really cool, like, posh hipster hotel. For the young people, it's all about hashtags and Instagram and oh my God, my drink is pink and that kind of thing. It's a really cool spot. And we just it's a free comedy show, so like Moxie puts up the money for it, and we get to entertain people. It's a weird show, but it's fun. It's fun.
Weird is good, though. I mean,
because we're like the happy hour entertainment. So like people, are generally sitting a little farther away from us than we're used to, because we're used to like tables and chairs, or at least chairs right in front of us. But these people are like sitting at the bar, which is a good like 10, 15 feet away. Yeah. And sometimes you can't even tell if they're paying attention.
That builds character as a comic, though.
It does. I love to watch people do it, because it is a struggle. And that sounds mean of me, but I'm just like, watching. It like puts hair on your chest. Comedic hairs.
That I used to do at Rocky Mountain Pizza in Atlanta on Sundays, a Sunday workout by Joe Smith. And it was a sports bar that was basically a base for Philadelphia Eagles fans, and it was on Sundays. So nobody really wanted us there. The people in the bar were watching the game, and the other comics really weren't there to really give you support. They were just trying to see what would stick. So I feel like going to that Sunday workout and saying things and not getting a reaction, not getting the laughs, having to struggle, really helped my growth a lot. There were times when I would go there and I would use material and not get a peep, but I would work the material out, and then I'd go somewhere like the Laughing Skull 2 days later and get laughs. So,
well, I think what it does is it really challenges you to learn how to engage people. Yeah. Because even if you know that this stuff hits everywhere else that you go, it's a different animal. You have to attack it differently, and so it just kind of like it changes the gears in your head to think differently about how you're going to do it and get people to pay attention. That's one of my favorite things, is seeing somebody who can go up there and really take the reins and grab people's attention that maybe necessarily weren't paying attention before.
That's something that I'm kind of starting to try to learn and get to and it's kind of crowd work. Like, coming from a music background, I'm used to kind of not really addressing or looking or focusing on the individual audience members, just kind of, trying to give a presentation. But as a comic, you got to look down and address and talk to people and be like, hey, motherfucker, you pay attention and actually interact with them. And the best comics can actually go up in a cold room and make the room the material, go around the room and talk to people and start conversations to where people weren't paying attention. I think that's when you're really, really good. Like you said, when you can get people who weren't necessarily paying attention and not only pay attention to be part of the show.
Yeah, and crowd work is one way to do that, but it's also about your energy and enthusiasm and, the way you're standing there even. Yeah. It's very subtle things that people recognize and take notice of. So
not wearing a big puffy blue ball on your
taking your keychain off is, because I just stare at that the whole time.
I went on stage with a big, puffy ball on my keychain, and, nobody looked like I had a big ass Smurf on my belt. And I didn't realize it until Bridgette was nice enough to let me know, don't go on stage with the Smurf this time.
Yeah.
The Smurf is good luck, though.
I hate telling people those things. I feel like such an a-hole, but, at the same time, I'm like, if it's distracting me, I know it's distracting the audience.
Well, it would be worse letting somebody go on stage with a booger in their nose. It's like...
Well, that's a little harder to see. Although at the Comedy Catch they do have that big screen on the side. But it's also, just when people go up there and they play with the mic cord the whole time, it's almost like audiences are like dogs. They can smell fear.
Yeah.
They know when you're scared. They know when you're nervous, and it's little things like that show it, and it can work not well for you.
Yeah, that is true. An audience can smell fear, and then I think it kind of bounces off the comic is afraid, then the audience senses it, and then it comes back to the comic. The comic's like, oh fuck, I'm bombing. Then the audience is like, yeah, you are kind of bombing right now.
And it's a silent exchange too. This isn't a conversation you're having with them out loud. It's just, everybody knows.
It's like sitting there on a bad date when both of you know the date isn't going good, and you both one is like, well.
When you bought those condoms for nothing.
I really want to go home. I know you want to go home too, but nobody knows how to say it quite yet. So we're just going to
You're just waiting to see if she would pay first.
And be awkward. We mean pay.
Where are you going on dates?
Cookout.
Okay, all right. Well, somebody still got paid for it.
I got coupons.
For Cookout? Where do you get those? Because I want some.
Oh, you got to date a girl from Cookout.
I'll do that. I would like to get that big tray combo.
No, I'm not.
shake.
I'm not that terrible, but I would break in Cookout just for the corn dogs. The corn dogs are so good.
I have corn dog sticks all over my car.
I just wish that for that and the Hush Puppies, like how they have that Total cereal where it has 100% of the vitamins and stuff baked in the cereal. They could just put those vitamins in the Hush Puppies. We would be good. Then I could just eat Hush Puppies all the time and get all my vitamins and everything I needed from Cookout.
Or the white cheddar cheese bites.
Or like your stickers, just Little Debbie's. Just put them in the oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah. I will
Yeah.
any Little Debbie snack because I eat all of them.
Yes. If you catch Bridgette out, I'm still waiting on mine, but she's got her own personal sticker, the Body by Debbie sticker.
And I didn't bring
and I've
them
got to
with me.
get one. I've got a Dad Bod by Debbie. So I do my push-ups, but I still eat my snack cakes.
Are you
and stuff.
pushing down on ding dongs? I think that's Hostess. What am I talking about?
Yes, the engineer
Yep, honey
Andrew.
buns. Yep, I
He
saw
got
those
the-
honey buns.
The breakfast of champions right
Yep,
there,
breakfast,
man.
lunch, dinner, whatever.
All of that. That's what Usain Bolt ate right before he ran the world. That's what that fast white boy in Texas is eating, just straight Little Debbie's and Mountain Dew and running 9.9 in the 100 meters. And people were like, where the hell does this dude come from?
Nothing about eating Little Debbie snacks makes me want to run. I'm
Really? It actually was funny. I used to play semi-pro football. I played for like 8 or 9 years. And when I was younger, I had a hard time gaining weight. So I would always eat Little Debbie's before the game. And I was like 160 pounds, eating like 3 or 4 oatmeal cream pies before a game. And somebody's like, man, you better not eat those. You're going to look fat. You're going to get fat. And the dude was like 275 pounds. I'm sitting here like 160 pounds. Like my helmet, I look like a ostrich because I got this big helmet on, these big shoulder pads, and these little spindly legs coming out the bottom.
Were you the kicker?
No, I was not. I was the fastest. I couldn't kick to save my life. I was just real fast. So if I got the ball, I was gone. I could stop other people from catching the ball, but please don't ask me to tackle anybody because I don't want to end up in the hospital.
Yeah, because you're only 160 pounds.
Yeah, but I kept eating Little Debbie's and I got up to 185. And then once I got fat enough, I made an all-star team.
There you
So
go.
there's nothing wrong with Little Debbie's. You can't be a little skinny motherfucker forever. So if you're a little skinny motherfucker, eat them Little Debbie's. Keep them
Fancy
big dudes
cakes,
off.
baby.
Yeah, whatever cakes you can get. Don't eat the tasty cake because the off-brand Little Debbie's, the off-brand snacks are nasty as fuck. I'm sorry, Tasty Cake. If y'all send me
Now,
some money.
hold on. Tasty Cake is based out of Philadelphia. Those are not bad. What is like the off-brand? Is it Drake's?
Drake's was the one out of New York that McKee actually bought. Mrs. Freshly's.
Okay.
Mrs. Freshly's is just... Mrs. Freshly's is always in those convenience stores that has the freshest blunts and condoms, but everything else in there is stale as fuck. Like, if you look at the snack cakes, there's like a film of dust on them from like 1978.
Oh, that's when you like buy the Airheads and they're super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of place. All right.
Only thing fresh is the blunt wraps. Well, man, it's been great having you in here, Bridgette.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else you want to say before you go?
No, just check me out on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. It's @robotpeni, which is like multiple penises. Peni.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it started out as a game and it just got weird. But yeah, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you can find out what I'm doing or how I'm feeling or, you know, what nasty thing I said to my girlfriend recently. Like, I don't know. Just
Your girlfriend's going to shoot you. I thought I was bad, man. Your girlfriend's going to shoot you.
I don't understand what she sees in me, but she's also a lot younger than I am. So I don't think she hasn't come to that point in her life yet where she's like, okay, fun and games is over now. It's time to be an adult, you know? Like, she hasn't gotten to that point where she's like, oh, you're like this all the time.
People get to that point?
Yeah, I think so.
I avoid those people.
Yeah.
I avoid those people at all fucking
Yeah.
costs.
She'll figure it out one day, and I'll just be like, oh, okay.
But you'll be a multi-zillionaire comedian,
I hope.
like world-famous comedian by then.
Yeah, but then she'll like me, so...
Well, I'm sure she likes you now.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Well, this has been Chris Hopkins with Hop Topics. Again, I want to thank the lovely Bridgette Martin for coming on my show and just really being a big part of comedy here in Chattanooga in the Southeast and giving us all opportunities and then giving us all something to laugh at.
Yeah, and you can go Comedy 423 on Facebook.
Yes, Comedy 423.
I can't believe I didn't mention that. And on Instagram, Comedy 423. You can find
Yes.
out about everything going on comedy in Chattanooga there.
In the beautiful greater Chattanooga area. I think that wraps it up, man. I'm about to go home and eat me some Little Debbie's and flex my big fat gut.
Is it the oatmeal cream pies?
Oatmeal cream pies and fudge rounds.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All the time.
I like Star Crunch.
I used to like Star Crunch, but then it just kind of gets weird and chewy, and then just like...
I love it.
You just like smash the oatmeal cream. You need how to have teeth
I
for
can
oatmeal
smash
cream
oatmeal
pie.
cream pies. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
just
man.
a straw.
Double-decker one. Yep.
One of these days, I'm gonna break into the Little Debbie plant out there and just like steal like an oil drum full of like the white cream filling, and just.
I think you have your own white cream filling. It's made of the same thing.
Oh my God! And with that, we're gonna end the show because I don't even know what to say after that. Thank y'all for tuning in to Hot Topics. See you next time.
Her name is opposite name. Just that nigga smoking blunts, always spitting that game. Used to call me 420, but that shit all the same. I'm all in, man, like Texas Hold'em. I see 5-0 patrolling, but they ain't fucking with me, cause I didn't